Welcome back to another very important episode. This is Layla, and today we are discussing why we have to absolutely avoid water sign sugar daddies. All right. Where do I begin? Okay. First of all, the majority of men that are water signs are not sugar daddy material. Most of them are ruled and owned by their emotions. They're very emotionally unstable because no one has ever taught them how to deal with the depths and the complexity of their inner world. Therefore, they are usually more inclined to have some sort of substance abuse issue that they are in denial of. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. And a lot of women that are pygmies might feel this urge to teach him and mother him and nurture him and build with him and try to make him feel like a man, which never works. It never works because, first of all, he's going to feel resentment towards the pygmies that are doing that because it's a very emasculating process to tell a man what to do. Even if you're teaching him something that he might, use for, his life and long-term, benefits, he's probably going to take those teachings and use them towards another woman that does not emasculate him. Yeah, that's deep. So in general, water signs, I would stay away from them because it's super rare to find a man that is a water sign that has any form of discipline and structure in his life. And if he does, he has usually a lot of substance abuse issues because he doesn't know how to deal with the excessive emotions. And it's not socially acceptable for a man to be so emotional, compassionate, empathetic. They're usually great in bed, and that's usually the only thing they have to offer. They usually have a victim type of mindset and mentality, like everybody's coming for them. Their boss is mean, their wife is cruel, it's always somebody's fault. And of course, getting into any type of argument with a water sign man is not a good idea because they need to have the last word. They're going to use emotional manipulation and tactics. They're going to try to hurt you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So it's just best to avoid them. Avoid them at all costs. You're going to see anyway, like very rapidly. Of course, they're very good at lying at the beginning, but this is why I teach women, if a man is not giving you tangible money in your hand, then that's it. This is the sign that you were waiting for. If he does not give you money to pay all your bills, run. He's not going to, and he's probably very good at emotional manipulation to get himself out of situations. He's probably very good with women. Maybe he's attractive. Maybe he's 6 feet tall. He has a big ding dong, So, it's just best to just avoid them at all costs. The best sugar daddies, actually, of the zodiacs are the earth signs. And of course, there's a lot of... I'm talking about the majority of them, all right? So, for example, being an earth sign doesn't mean that you're going to be a man that's successful, established, and generous. Like, it does not, you know what I'm saying? But in general, if you meet a man that's successful, established, and for example, he's an earth sign, the odds of him being reliable, like he's going to be super reliable. And of course, like I said, it's the same test at the beginning. If he doesn't give you an allowance, doesn't give you money, doesn't spoil you, next, right? You don't have to like sit there and wait because he's a Capricorn. Like, no, if he's not giving you anything, move on to the next. Or if he's cheap or stingy, or he's just making comments you don't like, of course, it's not because of his sign. And the opposite as well, if you meet a man that's like super amazing, gives you gifts like right away, like first time he sees you, he's super generous, gives you a lot of, money, gifts, he might be your water sign too, and you don't want to like put him aside, but still have, some backups, because he might just be playing a very short-term game as well. Some men pretend to have money, so they might give you a little at the beginning, right? And you're like, oh, thank you. And then next thing you know, they were just trying to get in bed with you, and because you're not budging and you don't want to, cross that boundary, they might just move on to the next woman, right? With some anger, because water signs get angry when you reject them. But yeah, in general, earth signs are very steady. They're very reliable, practical. Like if a guy has a sugar baby, he's not gonna have like 5. He's gonna be very mindful about where his money is going, because he sees her as some sort of investment, whatever. But yeah, he's gonna be very steady, and he's not gonna like switch on you like overnight. Still have a few options, like I said, always, just in general in life. But yeah, like he's gonna be like more predictable, I would say, more reliable, more predictable. You want to look into a man's Venus as well, because you can now embody his dream girl. Like that's another trick with astrology. And of course, you have to be discreet when it comes to astrology, because I wouldn't recommend talking about astrology to men or any type of politics. I would stay away from these subjects, because a lot of people have these stereotypes in mind. So for example, if you're like, yeah, I'm into astrology, but like, he had past experiences that were very traumatic with women that were spiritual, he might just cross you from the list and be like, next, so you don't want to be put into a category, or you don't want to be labeled as like crazy before he even knows you, right? So you have to be very discreet when it comes to getting his birth information, and that could take a few weeks sometimes, I don't know, like there are so many ways to do it. You can even make a joke and be like, ask him for his ID, for example, as a joke, and it's probably gonna flatter him, right? Because he's probably old and not very attractive. So yeah, ask him for his ID, and then actually look at the date. Or of course, sometimes people have documents, you can just look at the date, whatever. There are many different ways. Sometimes they can even talk about their birthday, and you're like, oh, when's your birthday, by the way? Not the time and the location and everything, because they're gonna know you're looking for their birth chart. And if they're like, oh, you want to know my birth chart, and you're like, you can even play the game and be like, what's a birth chart? They're gonna be like, never mind. And then of course, as you're going through all these conversations, at some point he's gonna tell you where he was born. And of course, the time, that's more a delicate thing, because sometimes they usually don't even know. It's their mothers that know. Yeah, that I would say that's a harder one. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't know how to get the time. Just put 12 p.m. If you don't know someone's time of birth, you can just put 12 p.m. It's going to give you, it's not going to be super precise, but still you're going to have a good understanding of who they are, what their Venus is, and just in general, like what keeps them attracted, what keeps them interested, what they love in a woman, like the Venusian aspect of their chart, because you want to see what type of women, because men like different types of women. Some women love these like super cute and shy women. Other men like these like very seductive femme fatale types of women. But it depends of the Venus. So that's how you're gonna be able to know. So, like I said at the beginning, just in general, avoid any type of providers that are water sign unless they really clearly show their emotional stability. Like if they have like a healthy coping mechanism with their emotions. For example, they might do some sort of like sport, or they have like a super healthy lifestyle, like they don't take any drugs and substances, so they actually deal with their emotions when they rise. They might be able to like even self-regulate if they know about breath work, so but you need to see those signs. It's not your job to teach them how to do that. Like that's their own issue, their own journey, their own karma. Like they don't mess with that, but that's what they have to overcome, basically, to become the man that they're supposed to be on this planet, and to become a provider. Because a lot of times, a lot of men want to be providers. They want to be sugar daddies, but they're not able to overcome themselves, and they get super mad, super angry at the world, which is basically a reflection of them. And so a lot of men get angry because they want to be a provider, but they just don't have the funds to do it. But like I said, when they overcome themselves, then they're able to do it. But it's a personal journey, a journey that has to be done in solitude, and it has to come from their own understanding and perspective. And a lot of times when a man meets his dream girl, it's going to like naturally inspire him to evolve and upgrade and to make more money and to just give her the world, So if a man is not naturally inspired and motivated by your essence, by your presence, by you as a woman, then of course you have to run, because like it's just not gonna go anywhere. He's probably just trying to like get in bed with you because he thinks you're like physically attractive, and that's it. That's it. So yeah, that's it for my episode today. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.